Welcome back to Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We have Bryant Falconer, our co-host, in the studio. How you doing, Bryant?
Man, I'm doing good, bro.
Awesome, man. So tell everybody what you're smoking tonight.
Finishing off another Padron 1964.
Man, you high rolling.
No, just being blessed. Just being blessed, bro. Just being blessed.
I am actually
stepping it up.
Well, I'm smoking one of my favorite sticks. I'm smoking the Viva La Vida, and it is the Diademus Finis.
We'll go with that.
Diademus. It's the Diademus Finis.
Finis.
Finis. Finas.
Finis. Yeah.
Anyway, I love this cigar.
Yeah.
And I was,
that's your Viatola, isn't it? Almost.
It's between this one and the Torpedo
Gotcha.
When it comes to the Viva La Vida.
Gotcha.
It's funny because depending on which cigar I'm smoking, I don't always like the same Viatola. I don't like on the Medallia. I love the 6x46.
Yes, sir.
But that's not my favorite Viatola across the board. Mm-hmm. It depends on the cigar.
I can understand that totally.
And the thing about it is, if you smoke a cigar in one Viatola and you like it, try other Viatolas because there may be one that accentuates that flavor profile more than others to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Dan Thompson. He loves the Toro for the Medallia, but I keep waiting for his palate to mature.
Oh my goodness!
You know what I mean? Well, and I think he will get over that hump. He'll come to see the light.
So he'll come to see the
6x46.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, this is one of my favorite Viatolas in the Viva La Vida.
Got you, sir.
Great smoke. And then tell everybody what we're drinking. I'm drinking the Evan Williams single barrel. There's not a whole lot left in that bottle, but we're enjoying it down to the last drop.
And he allowed me to finish
the old Blade and Bow. Yeah, the old Blade and Bow.
It's empty now.
That's yeah. Okay, I'll say that's done. What's funny is, and you caught me.
What's that?
Before we were recording, an old habit seeped in.
Yes, it did.
I picked up a bottle. I took the cork out,
and
I was reaching to take a swig out of the bottle, and I caught myself, and I was like, "Oh, I do have a glass." Yes. So some old habits die hard.
That Lubbock in him was was standing kind of tall right then and there.
So I would say that overall I've done a lot better as far as drinking out of a glass.
Yeah. Because there are other people that would like to drink with you
now. What, 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, Brian didn't even know I was drinking out of the bottle.
So didn't. And then he told me, I was like, oh, my God.
2 glasses in.
Yeah, it's alcohol.
So anyway, these are great bourbons.
Yes.
This pairing between the Evan Williams single barrel, which if you haven't had the single barrel, I'm a big fan. Yeah. It's $35 in that neighborhood. It's single barrel. It's Evan Williams. They know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it's in your wheelhouse in all aspects.
Oh, yeah, it really is. And it's a really good bourbon. And to pair it with a Viva La Vida, which is a full-body cigar, is just spot on.
You hit home runs every once in a while, but when you do...
I like your choice, too. You finished off the Blade and Bow, and the thing about it is, it's not as strong as this single barrel from Evan Williams, but that 1964 is not like full blown. So it's a really nice pairing with that Blade and Bow.
It's that ride together.
Yeah, it really
Both
is.
of them taking that ride together. You're getting all those flavors, man. You really are.
Hey, so before we get started, let's talk about our sponsors.
Most definitely.
We have 3 great sponsors. We have The Leaf.
In
Abilene, Texas. The home shop.
You need to call it the home.
The home shop. And if you come around Abilene within 50, 60 miles, make the extra drive.
If you're coming west on 20.
And it's downtown at 1166 North 2nd Street. They just opened a new lounge, and it's fantastic. You walk in, you see a nice, inviting place where you can sit down in multiple places. They have sofas, they have chairs, they have tables, they have a big screen TV, they have
everywhere
cigar accessories, they have pipes, they have pipe tobacco.
Man, I looked over there, they got beard wax over there.
I saw that.
I was like, what beard wax?
I was
like?
kind of
And then I
intimidated.
realized there are a lot of gentlemen walking in that door
Absolutely.
with full beards.
Dude,
so,
did you see David from the Texas Cigar Show's beard?
good Lord. And it was perfect.
Oh.
That's the thing that got me. It was perfect.
I asked him if he grows it out longer, and he's like, no, I just continually make it this length.
Yeah.
But that takes a lot of care.
Oh, most definitely, man. That's just like hair care.
And my beard grows in so many different ways that they would be like, that beard's on crack. You know what I mean? Because it does not just grow.
No.
It's like, and the funny thing is, when it's short, you don't really notice it.
But when
But you start getting it
grow,
long,
yeah.
it starts getting kinky. It starts getting like curly. It goes in different
You
directions.
get that wild man beard.
Yeah. So my wife does not go for the growing it
Like
out.
you out
I
there.
tried.
You out there wrestling bucks and then
You know, I don't know if you know this, but I did the Me in 23 back in the day, you know, the DNA testing. Turns out I'm from a long line of Neanderthals. You didn't know that, did you?
I can see you with a cave in a cave, alley ooping all.
Alley-oop, boop, boop, boop. So, yeah, anyway, I don't do the beard. I mean, I do a goatee, but that's about the extent. And whenever I'm being lazy, I might grow a 8:30 shadow.
8:30.
Yeah, not the 5:30. I go a little bit longer than that. But anyway, yeah, the leaf, man. Dude, the humidor. The
fun house.
The fun house. The Noah's Ark.
Yes.
And then you go back in the Havana room.
Yes,
The Havana room. My home away from home.
Yes.
So, and the great thing is they carry both of our sponsor cigars, the
Yes.
Viva La Vida and McAuliffe cigars.
Mhm.
They have the whole line of McAuliffe's.
Yes.
They have almost the whole line of Viva La Vida.
Vidas, yes.
So if you can't find those cigars, call up Jay or Scott, order them up, and they will ship them out faster than Speedy Gonzalez can say Arriba, Arriba.
It's just like the word free. The number is right there on the website.
That's right. It's
in
down
the
below
it's
in the show notes.
It's easy. Just call Scott or Jay.
That's the first time you've ever said show notes.
show notes. It truly is.
I
isn't
know.
it?
I was like, wow, and we're at 109, and you say show notes for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm being conditioned.
slowly. So anyway, let's talk about Viva La Vida.
Viva
a
la
minute.
la la
All
la
right.
vida.
I've had
He
a little
sounded
bourbon
like
tonight.
he sounded like a drunk Elvis.
Hello.
Viva lemonade.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I'm smoking a Viva La Vida. It is lights out.
Yeah.
Lights out. And, you know, I hear a lot of people say they would love to try the cigar. Look at our show notes.
Yes.
Call up Jay.
It's
he
easy.
has all of them.
Yes, sir.
I think the only one he's missing is the Lancero.
I haven't seen the Lancero,
Yeah,
so that's
I
what I'm
don't
thinking.
think he has
But
the
he
Lancero.
has that Club
But he has the
500,
Club 500,
baby.
the
Woo!
Torpedo,
the Jester,
Ademus.
Yeah, the one that you tried to murder. This
I want to say Nicodemus. You remember?
why? Yeah,
'Cause, you know,
Nicodemus.
little Nicodemus, little man who wishes he could. So, anyway, yeah, but give them a call. They'll hook you up with the Viva La Vida. They can also hook you up with McAuliffe cigars, which, dude,
4 to 40, 42.
the Torsador, $4.20
Out the gate.
or something like that.
They're
Dude,
like
the McAuliffe Ambassador is only like $7.40.
Mhm.
And that is a lights out cigar. Everybody who smokes that cigar is like, I can't believe this cigar's $7 something.
It's like they're like the perfect Kentucky Derby. Right out the gate, they hit you with 100%, and the race is perfect all the way through. 4 to 42, the Torsador out the door, branching up to the Lindea 2, the
Experiencia, the Herencia, the Habano, the Maduro, the La Crema,
the
the
entire,
Reserva.
like I
mean,
say, straight out the gate.
They have it all. And I mean, let me tell you if you like, you don't smoke Connecticut's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying if you don't, I highly recommend that you
Yes.
give the
McAuliffe.
McAuliffe Connecticut a try.
Yeah.
Because it is phenomenal. In fact, it's in my top 2 Connecticut's.
And the thing about
and it's
that,
completely different than my other top 2 Connecticut. It's like it's not a very light stick. It's definitely got a kick to it. And I like to say it's not your grandfather's Connecticut.
But it's full of flavor. You get flavor throughout the entire, like you say, it has a little kick to it.
And you know what? A lot of the Connecticut's, I think that you want to smoke those in the morning.
Yeah,
that Connecticut is
that's
at
a
any
midday.
time.
Yeah, that's a
I can
midday
smoke that
to evening
morning,
stick.
afternoon, late evening.
Yeah.
Depending on what I'm eating or drinking.
And you can pair it with a lot of bourbons too.
But it goes great with coffee.
Yeah, we know you ain't
I
coffee.
love some coffee in that Connecticut.
Know you and coffee.
So anyway, if you want to become a McAuliffe ambassador, sign up. You can look down in the show notes, and there's a link.
Show notes.
And click on the link, and it'll take you over to their website. You just fill out some information. They'll send you your own challenge coin, and you can join their Facebook private group. You get to meet everybody who's McAuliffe. And I don't mean just the ambassadors, because we have some great ambassadors.
Talking about
you look
administration
at Bill,
also.
You look at Orlando.
Yeah.
There's just
Jack Rocks.
I mean,
Schmidt Face.
Yes.
Guys that, you would not have conversation with
otherwise.
Especially with Schmidt Face, because he's in Australia. So
yeah, I'm going to bring this up right quick. I was talking to him earlier today, and he said, have you ever been in a public restroom, sitting on the throne, and you've been in there so long that the automatic lights go out?
I have to say yes.
And I said, I've been there, brother.
Yes. I own up to it.
Yeah,
yes.
Been there, done that. But anyway, yeah. What a great family we have with the McAuliffe Ambassador Program and the way they take care of their brick and mortars. I mean, they kick Cigar Internationals to the curb.
Because they realized who is the most important person, the consumer. The brick and mortars. Those people are the ones that keep the doors open and keep stuff running off their shelves.
Exactly.
Every day.
So we give hats off, and we are humbled and blessed to have great sponsors that we have. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't tried them, call Jay.
Yes.
The number's in the show notes.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Anyway, moving on. Let's do our pick six of the week.
Okay.
I'm going to let you go first, but I do have mine ready. In fact, if you want me to go first, I'll go first.
I want to go first because I went on a trip this week.
Okay.
Jay sent out the bat signal again, and he said he had the DC cigars in there, the Definition cigars.
Oh, you know what? I'm a big fan of those. You know what? I want to get those guys on the show.
Got to.
Yeah, I met one of the owners, and super nice guy, and I'm a big fan. And the funny thing is, when I met him, he introduced himself. I didn't know the name of the cigar company. I just had smoked their cigars before. And we got to talking, and I was like, I don't know that I know what your cigars look like. And he was like, well, instead of using a band, we use like a lace embroidery in different colors for different cigars. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Dude, yeah, I've had those. I got those at Enfuegos up in McKinney.
Yes, sir.
And anyway, great stick.
My 3 this week have 2 of their sticks on there.
Wow.
And it starts off with the Definition Cigars Habano, which is the yellow band.
I don't think I've had the yellow band.
Oh, my goodness, man.
I've had the purple band. Or maroon. I guess you would say maroon.
Maroon. Yeah. Number 2 is the Definition Noir, which is the green band.
I have not had that one either.
Medium to bold. Great profile, man. You talking about nuts. God, man, that's a good stick, man. And then my number 3
now, what's the name of the company again?
Definition Cigars.
Definition Cigars.
DC.
So make sure you look them up on Instagram or Facebook. And the cool thing is, they're a Texas company.
Texas, Dallas area.
You know, another one.
The Metroplex.
I'm sorry, you were going to announce your next one.
Oh, it's the one I'm smoking tonight.
Oh.
Padron 1964, baby.
Wow, you kind of you throwing
That's
that
why I went
my
first.
face.
That's why I went first.
Yeah, usually I'm the one.
I'm gonna hit you hard. I'm playing Tyson right now, baby. Take these blows.
Hey, well, I got a cigar that I actually forgot I had in my humidor. I thought I smoked them all. I found one and I was like, "Wow!"
For real?
Yes.
You had something in there?
Well, it had rolled to the back. So I didn't see it, or it would have been gone months ago. But it was the Martinez.
Oh.
You know which one it is? The flat iron. Have you seen the flat iron? Let me show you the flat iron.
Yeah.
That's a good looking stick.
It's a good tasting stick also. It's just not good looking. It's good tasting.
Yeah.
You talking about a trip, bro.
Yeah,
Woo.
that's a great stick. And then my next one is I'm going to try to pronounce this without using my, flat out white boy from Texas accent.
That Lubbock vernacular.
Yeah, the Lubbock vernacular. And it is the Cazadores by La Aurora Cigars.
Yeah, you killed it.
No, I think I got it pretty close.
It's murdered.
Cazadores.
Larry looking up.
Larry,
He's
take
like,
a look
nope.
at that. We're at the very bottom, Larry.
He's like, nope.
It's Caza Dores. Cazadores. Oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm pretty close.
I hear you.
Great stick. Have you had one of those?
No, sir, I haven't.
Great. You know, I'm a big fan of La Aurora.
Yes, we know.
I really like the Corojo.
Yes, sir.
Love that. But anyway, that's one of the ones. And then this one is the Don Pepin, the series JJ Maduro.
Oh, I haven't had that one.
That's a great stick.
Where'd you get that one
stick. I had a friend come in town.
Blessed.
Gifted me with this.
Blessed.
And he knew I was a Don Pepin fan.
So he blessed you.
Yes, he did. So I want to say thank you, and that's our top six for the week, and we will get that in the show notes.
Show notes.
Go by and check out the show
notes.
So,
that's the new buzzword. Show notes.
Show notes. So anyway, I know you've been working on a couple of topics.
Yes.
So let's. This is going to be a conversation
after the visit by Sean. Me and him sat down and talked, and he had sent me some topics, and we talked about it. So we have 3 that came from one of our Patreons.
Okay, cool.
Sean.
And which is a producer.
Yeah, Sean O'Connor.
And,
man.
We have a meeting once a month with the producers in our Patreon team.
Yes.
And they give us show ideas.
Yes, sir.
And, sometimes they're spectacular.
Ooh.
And then Adam from New York, he never has good ideas. Adam, I'm kidding you, brother. Love you, man.
The first one is the best cigar you can't get anymore. I can give you mine.
Okay.
CEO, Amazon Basin.
Wow. That is a great smoke.
Here's the issue with this now.
What?
I put this on my list.
And then you got one.
I got one from Sean.
There's one in my bag, too.
Oh, Lord. And then I contacted Eric, my buddy in Tallahassee.
He's got some?
He said, I got you. I'm going to send you. I was like, I put it on my list as I couldn't get anymore. But the thing is, they're not here in this area anymore. So I just can't go buy them.
And they're very difficult to find because of the FDA ruling.
Mm-hmm.
They decided they were going to quit making them.
So I got one that's going to sit in the humidor forever. And then the one I get from Eric is going to sit forever. I'm going to have them for a while.
Okay.
I might smoke them when my grandchildren are born.
Well, I'm trying to think of a cigar that I enjoy that's no longer available. Mm-hmm. And that's tough. I mean, I'm trying to think back, and I'm really drawing a blank.
Wow.
I can't think of a cigar that I used to love that. Okay, you know what? I got one.
Okay.
And it doesn't exactly fit this criteria, but I'm going to squeeze it in, make it work. I'm going to force it in.
We're going to run with you.
Like a square peg in a round hole. I'm going to force it in. Because it's not 100%. But I'm going to say the LFD Cabinet 6.
The one that you're used to.
Not what they offer today,
but the one that you're used to back then.
That was a beauty of a stick.
Okay.
Dude, when I look back at the pictures that I took at the Cabinet 6.
There's a million of them.
I know, but when I look at the pictures of those cigars, I'm like...
Reminiscent.
Not just reminiscent. I feel like I've lost a loved one.
Melancholy.
Yes.
Oh,
because
look at it.
It was not perfection intentionally.
Uh-huh.
It was hand rolled. It was not smooth and flat. It was not perfection. You know what I mean?
But it was to you.
When you looked at it, it was like, oh, you can definitely see it's not completely perfectly round from top to bottom. It had lumps on the side. It had the big vein of the leaf.
Gotcha.
But it was so dark and oily that it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And they don't make that cigar anymore. I don't care what they call whatever they have now, but that is not the Cabinet 6.
We rolling with you.
It's the same size. It's
got the same name.
Name, but it is not the same cigar.
It was like the Mustangs, or what was that? The 70s and the 80s.
What was that? What was that? Capri?
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah.
The 2+2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the name, but that's not a Mustang.
Right. No. Yeah, you remember the Mustang in like 74?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
75?
about. It was just, no, that's not a Mustang.
When I was in high school, I dated a girl that had a 1975 Mustang that was bright canary yellow.
Wow.
And it was so butt ugly. Because that was one of the ugliest years they ever did. When they tried to make them compact. Oh yeah, the automatic T-shifter.
T-shifters. Oh, man.
And it had like white vinyl seats.
Yes.
And you could hear that 4-cylinder just like, yeah, it was not pretty. But that's how the LFD Cabinet 6 is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That is not, so yeah, I got one. That's
so ours are going to be the CAO Amazon Basin and the LFD Cabinet 6.
Bingo.
Cabinet 6. That's cool, man. Next is going to be the best cigar line that is not a sponsor.
Whew, man. You know, there's a lot of good cigar lines out there. So to narrow it down to my favorite, and I won't say best, I'll say my favorite.
That's not a sponsor.
That's not a sponsor. So I'm going to let you go first.
Roma Craft.
See, I knew you were going to go there.
You know I love the Baca.
I know.
You know I love the Slobberknocker. You know I love the Sabertooth. Man, I am a Roma Craft man.
I like the Aquitaine.
Yes.
I like the Intemperance.
Yes. Whiskey Rebellion.
The Whiskey Rebellion. And you know, really when I first started, it was just the Cro-Magnon.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought out the, the Orange Band, the Neanderthal.
Oh,
and for Neanderthals, I really liked, for the Neanderthal line, the genetic deformity, which was like that 4.5 inch.
Yes.
And
it was a true genetic deformity.
Yeah,
man.
and it was a powerhouse.
Yes.
I mean, a little short stick that would let you know
I'm here.
Messing around.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't look over me because I'm here. it puts something in the back of your mind, the back of that Rolodex. When you start flipping through, you be like, oh, genetic deformity. Yeah, I'm going to grab one of them, man. Because there's nothing I can say bad about Roma Craft.
Nothing. Oh, I'm with you. I'm a Roma Craft fan.
That's my line.
Just knowing Mike Rosales and his story and the love that he and Skip share for the cigar industry.
And it's not because we've had him on, we've been there. I was a Roma Craft fan before we went. I was a Roma. We used to have Roma Thursdays, man.
Before Roma Craft was brought into the Leaf, I petitioned the bill regularly because I would go out of town and I would come back and be like, Bill, you got to smoke one of these.
Yeah.
And he told me, he was like, dude, I've tried to get these before and I can't. And I was like, call them up. Let's do it. So he calls them up. And they ship him an order like that day. And I was like, dude, Roma's coming.
Thank you.
So I'm going to say, for me, I know what mine is.
Okay.
As soon as you say that. And it is J.R.E. Tobacco. The Aladino line.
Oh, my
dude.
Goodness.
That's a home run. Ooh. That is a home run. I mean, and you know, there's a lot of great choices. I mean, because I could go through and be like, you know what? I love Oscar.
Yeah.
I love
there are a lot of great choices, but when you say those that are just favorite to you.
Right.
To you.
If I got to pick one that's not a...
And dig this.
Wow.
When I go home for Thanksgiving, I've already told Nick, I'm going to the Riverman, and I'm going to get another patent. And the reason I'm getting 2 is because I have 2 grandchildren coming in the spring. And these are going to be the cigars I smoke when my grandchildren are born.
What a dick. I thought he was going to say,
No.
so I could come back and share one with you.
No.
You've got one. You said you're going to buy two. I'm thinking me and Larry are going to get one of these.
One is going to be in March. The other one's going to be in April. I am. I'm going to buy one for each one of y'all. I am. But I'm going to have two just for when my grandchildren
that's
come
fair
in.
enough. That's fair enough.
I'm going to do that.
But, dude, great. And the funny thing is, when I go back to my favorite cigars, I mean, look at McAuliffe, look at Viva La Vida, look at the owners.
Come on.
You know what I mean? It's like, do you think it's just coincidence that these companies have such great owners? No. I mean, it's when you have people
mindset.
like Billy and Gus, when you have a guy like Al McAuliffe, when you have Justo with JRE, Rosales and Skip. I mean, it's not a coincidence that the owners are spectacular, awesome people.
Tell the truth.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I've met a lot of different cigar company owners, and you know what? I've smoked some cigars that I was like, yeah, those are pretty good. But, I didn't enjoy my encounter with that particular owner. And so it didn't make it up to my top, echelon.
Gotcha.
Because when you look at the quality that these guys do, and they're just good people.
Oh, yes.
You want to support those guys.
You have to, because it's in you. That's the cigar community, man. We, as we said in the last show, it's about that loyalty.
Well, and I'll tell you this. I told Sean this last time he came to visit. Character means a lot to me.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
And so if you're just a flat-out piece of crap, I don't care what you make.
It doesn't matter. I won't spend my money with you.
Right.
You didn't get a dime from me.
It comes to that respect, and respect comes from character. And when you prove time and time again that you have that top-level care and character, it shows in the product that you make.
And I want to reward you for that, because that is something that is missing today.
So many times.
Yes.
So,
I'm 100% with you.
I love the question, though.
Yeah.
Love the question. And like I said, I could make a top 5.
And I did. I had a top 5, and what I had to do is I had to take one out and go back through the 4.
Well, you should have done top 5.
Then I took
because I feel like
I've
left some really good companies out in the cold.
Yeah.
But I'm going with JRE Tobacco for my
bro.
one, since that was my choice.
Got you, bro.
So,
no problem with it.
Okay.
No problem with it.
Why no? You pulled out that amazing stick just to tease us. Just to tease us. Tell everybody what that is.
That's a patent, baby. That's an Aladino patent, baby.
It's the Aladino Corojo Reserva in the patent size, which is 9.5 inches long. What's the ring gauge on that? About 50,
48
52?
by 9.
Wow, 48 by 9. That's a let me see that for a second.
Just don't let it disappear.
All right.
Keep it away from Larry.
Forget Larry.
Yeah.
That is a nice looking
Look at him
stick.
reaching. Look at him reaching.
Oh, yeah. So what's your next topic for the show this evening?
Best lounge experience other than the Leaf.
Wow, they're making us really go outside of our comfort zone. Because you know what? That's a hard question, too.
Yes.
Because I've been to a lot of lounges, and I know you have as well.
Yes.
And when I say I've been to a lot of lounges, I've been to a lot of great lounges. And so how about if I do my top 3? Can I do my top 3?
That means I get to put one more on my list then.
Because you already had 2?
I had 2, and I had to drop it down to 1.
Oh, okay. So let's go back and forth on this. And
give me your 2, and I'll go.
Wow, man. I said we're going to do top 3.
You doing 3. I only had 2.
Okay.
I've had great experiences at a lot of lounges. I have.
Right.
But there were 2 that just stood out to me.
I almost feel like I need to do a top 4. Wow, this is a tough one because you know what? I've been to so many lounges and I love the people at so many lounges. So this is, no disrespect to any of the lounges, but I have to go with the ones that I've visited the most, that I return to. So I'm going to say right out of the gate, the Paladin
Okay.
in South Fort Worth. Every time I've gone to Fort Worth, I make a special trip over there.
Got you.
And it comes down to the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron and Matthew.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they host their customers, it's like when you walk in, it's like you immediately feel like an old cousin that you haven't seen in months.
That's family.
A close, right?
That's
It's family.
That's family.
And it's always a great conversation. The last time I went in there, I believe my son was with me, and we went in and sat down and smoked a couple of their cigars. And, you know, it's just always a great time. And it's not the biggest lounge that I've go to by far. But the Humidor has got a great selection. The seating is very comfortable. The people there are very friendly, and it's a diverse group. When you go in there, you never know who you're going to end up talking to. So I just, you know, Matthew and Aaron, you guys knock it out of the park. You're one of my favorite lounges, and you know every time I get an opportunity to come up there, I'm going to go by there. All right, so give me one of yours.
The Greenville Avenue Tobacco Company in the Metroplex. That's number 2.
In what Metroplex?
I think it's Dallas.
Okay, Dallas area.
Yeah.
I've never been there, never heard of that one.
It's a
Now, is that the one you went to when you were with your wife a few weeks ago?
No, it was actually when we were in Dallas for a crossing for the military fraternity that I'm in. And I went by myself. I wanted to find me a nice little quaint lounge just to chill. And I got there, and it wasn't the owner, it was the manager, the tobacconist that night. And man, when I say opened up, just the biggest hospitality I'd ever seen. It was like I was the most important person in the world. And that made me feel so good.
Because you never felt that anywhere else.
No, man. And it was just like I sat down, and he was abiding with everything, man. Would you like this? Would you like this? I can light that for you. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is a cigar lounge, man. This is a cigar lounge, man. And it was just like customers were coming in, and he was providing that same experience and that same treatment to everybody that walked in the door. And it was just like, I was like, this is what we talk about when we talk about the cigar community, man. It's 100% about the community, those smokers, those people that walk in the door, that you make them understand that this is somewhere I want you to keep coming back to. And that's what he made me feel like.
And that's what it is supposed to be.
Yes.
You know, whenever I had David from the Texas Cigar Roadshow, we talked a minute about, you know, how they pick their lounges that they go do tours of. And I had an experience in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at a lounge that was not good. And the only reason I went there was because a friend of mine told me that he had a bad experience. And
so you wanted to see.
Well, I blamed it on him. I was like, well, you're a dick.
So.
But no, I went over there, and I was not greeted when I walked in. When I was in the humidor for probably 15 minutes looking through, nobody came in and asked if I could need any help.
Yes.
And then when I went to the counter, the guy was on his iPhone the entire time, never looked at me. And it was just like, wow.
The atmosphere is destroyed.
That is the sign of a cigar lounge on its last leg.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you no longer care about your brotherhood, it's over.
It's over.
And so
it's done for you.
Yeah. So that's the kind of experience. And I'll tell you a funny story real quick is, so Jeff Richardson, my friend down in Houston, is the one who told me about this cigar lounge that was not a good experience.
Okay.
But I was talking to him on the phone a couple of weeks ago, and he'd called me. Actually, he called me while he was at the shop, and he was like, hey, man, tell me 4 cigars that you think I would like.
I went through that too.
And I'm like, well, are you going to a cigar shop? And he's like, I'm in one. And I'm like, well, put it on FaceTime and show me what they have.
Yeah.
So I picked out 4 cigars for him. They had great cigars, good selection. And anyway, he calls me back about 40 minutes later, and he's like, sends me pictures.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I'm in their VIP lounge. They have this huge VIP lounge. He says, the funny thing is, I'm the only white guy in here. And I was like, man, just sit
back
and enjoy.
Chill. Yes.
So he tells me, he says, dude, I come back here. They've been super welcoming to me.
That's the community.
And they told him, you are in a safe place.
Yes.
You can say
Whatever,
anything you
yes.
want. Now, you may get your ass kicked.
Depending on what you say.
but you're respectful. We're all respectful.
Yes, yes.
But I'll have to find out what the name of the lounge was because I told him I want to go down there and do a show.
Okay.
But they had this huge lounge. The pictures were really nice. But then they have a separate room that's a nice poker room.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have another room that's a billiards room.
Oh.
And he was telling me about, they have, and the cool thing is the owner lets you come in like 5-6 times and go in the VIP room just to see if you like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're new, you should be able to go into the VIP area or the members room and see what it's like.
Yeah, because then this is where I want to be.
Right.
Like we look at the VIP, the Havana room at the Leaf as home, our second home. That's where we go. I walk in the door, I say my salutations to everybody, and I walk immediately through that second door. Immediately. Because that's home to me.
Right.
Get back there, sit in a chair, relax. That's the way a cigar lounge is supposed to be. Lounge is supposed to be.
Lounge. Okay.
Lounge.
So anyway, getting back to our top
I've been hanging
three.
around the Labuckian for too long.
But to get back to our top three cigar lounge, and I'll tell you what, man, it's really hard to pick a top three. I mean, I could probably do a top 10.
I could do 3.
And feel more comfortable.
You put me at 3. I got one more to add to my number 1.
Well, you got 2 more.
I already had 1.
Right, you got 2 more.
Yeah, but I only had 2. Now I've got 1 more to add to that list.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, oh, man, I'm telling you what, this is a tough choice to me. But I'm going to say number 2 is going to be Smoker's Haven in Lubbock.
Damn. That's number 2 for me.
And, here's the thing. And this
number
is
2 for me.
No disrespect to Brad over at Good Karma because I love that guy. Yeah. And they got a great selection of cigars. But the thing about it is when I go to Good Karma, a lot of my old friends hang out and smoke there.
Gotcha.
Randy Baker smokes there. A guy I went to high school smokes there.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing is every time I've been in the last while before COVID, it was one of those things where we sat and played poker and had a good night. Tim goes there.
Yeah.
And so, John, the owner, John sold me tobacco in Smoker's Haven when I was in junior high.
That's beyond the statute of limitations.
Yeah. He's junior high.
As long as he's still not doing it.
Well, back in the day, Smoker's Haven was in the mall.
Dude, back in the day, my mother used to send me to the store to get packs of cools. Right?
Yeah.
We could do that back then. Now,
that was in the 80s.
Now you look 30, they still want to see your card.
Right.
Let me see your ID.
I get carded. I've been carded at some cigar shops just because that's their policy. They're taking no chances.
None whatsoever.
And I mean, when you look this gray, people know you're not.
He's not 18. He's not 18.
Yeah, I'm not 19, 20. But
he's way past that. His son is 20.
I'm multiplied times 2 on that, and then some,
and then a couple. Yeah,
but no, it's Smoker's Haven, and I love the story behind John with his dad going town to town for grocery stores selling the actual leaf tobacco.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's taking grassroots, baby. That's down to the nitty gritty, man.
And they started, I want to say, if I remember correctly, in like 1968.
Yeah, bro. That's taking that's the core of it. That's the love of it.
Right.
You love it that much that you take the opportunity to. I mean, going store to store. to sell the leaf. Who goes store other than reps?
Right.
Who goes store to store anymore for anything?
Dude, and you can see him in his old truck driving from little grocery stores. Not like what we have now.
Mom and pops to mom and pops.
Actually had like produce.
Yes.
And tobacco was like produce back then.
Yes.
So
it was, man, we were told not to go back, stay away from the old school memories.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay.
So since you took my number 2, also that's number 2 for both of us. My number 1.
Okay.
The number 1 on my list. The place I would go other than the leaf in my life. Riverman Cigar.
Wow. See, that's one I have not experienced.
Dude.
And I know it's got to be fantastic
Dude.
because Gator and Nick
took me there to tape the show, the Cigar Pulpit. They did my interview there. But when I tell you the hospitality that I received there, it rivals Jay. It really does. And I see that
I've heard so many good things about the owner.
They treat people the same way the leaf does. You are the most important person to them because they understand. They made it hospitable. They made it calm. They set the atmosphere for me, man. It was just like, okay. And I wasn't the only one. It was other customers coming in, but it was just like they did the same thing for everybody. And
I heard that when you walked in the Riverman,
oh man, yeah.
I mean, they were like, "May I help you?"
Yeah.
And you said,
"No, don't go there." I didn't.
I'm the co-host of Cigar Talk. You ought to know who I am.
I didn't say anything because everybody knows me. I'm humble. I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. And they said, oh, you're Brian. I was like, yes, sir. He said, oh, come on, sit down. Have a seat right here. I was like, no, I'm just waiting. He said, no, sit right here. You want something to eat? You want something to drink? You want this? I was like, wow.
What'd you eat?
He bought pizza for everybody.
Nice.
He bought pizza for everyone. It was like about 8 or 9 pizzas just sitting out there. I was like, do this all the time. And then Nick was like, yeah, man, that's just the way he is. And I was like,
taking
wow,
care of his people.
Taking care of his people. And then he told me about the front because they have the covered parking in the front. And then when it rains, because as you know, in the Midwest, we get a lot of rain. They don't allow people to park there. They put the chairs out there so the people can sit outside and enjoy it outside.
And I heard it's like 1,500 square feet.
Yes. Man, I'm talking about it was amazing, dude. It was like, okay, the only place I've had this type of feeling is home with the leaf.
Yeah.
They're my number 1.
I that's a shop I want to visit.
You have to.
That's one of the shops just after talking to Nick and a little bit of Gator. I try
a little bit of Gator is a whole lot of Gator. Yeah. A little bit is a whole lot.
But yeah, Riverman's is definitely on the top of my list to go visit. And I'll tell you what, after talking to Jeff down in Houston, I want to go down there to that shop because he was, and you know what? The experience that he had at that bad shop, these guys made him see. In fact, I mean, he was even talking about, I'm thinking about getting a membership there.
Flipped him. He flipped him. 100%, dude, 180 degrees. Turn my back on the bad. All I see is the good. Now just keep walking toward it. Man. Yep.
Because, when you have a bad experience, if you're a new cigar smoker,
it destroys it.
It ruins your idea of what it should be because you don't know.
Yep.
If you've been to a lot of shops
and
you've experienced really good shops, you know there's other good shops.
Yeah.
But if you're new and you go to a bad shop, that tarnishes the entire industry.
And then they happen by chance to listen to our show, and they're like, oh, them guys talking about my experience was nowhere near that. Yeah, because you went to a bad shop.
And that's why I went to that one shop was because when my friend told me, man, I always listen to y'all's show, and you guys are always talking about the community and how awesome it is, the respect. And then he turned around and went to a shop that treated him like trash. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, that's not the norm.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It's nowhere near the norm.
Because even though I'm listing off some of my favorite shops, I've been to so many shops that I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what we look for in the community.
Right.
Because that's what is expected.
Right.
That's what is expected. You go and you find a bad shop, you're like, that's against the norm. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Where did this come from?
Let me tell you this. At number 3 for me.
Which would be your number 1.
No.
We were supposed to go bottom to top.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. So anyway,
you're dealing with your dad, Luke.
I lumped them all into one.
I got you, bro.
I just given my top three as this is my favorite three.
I got you, bro.
So at number 3, I got a tie.
Always changing the rules.
Find the loophole. Find the loophole.
We know whose show this is.
So
we're gonna do 3, but I got 4.
Because here's the thing. Both of these, neither one of them can I leave out.
Okay.
So the first one of the tie is the Train Car Cigar Bar.
Okay, I can understand that.
You know what I mean? I can't cut them off the list.
That's your spot too,
dude. Yeah. We did our first show there.
Very first.
And not only did we do our first show, I've been over there several times.
Yeah, I got to get
not doing a show. In fact, we need to make that.
It was supposed to be before COVID,
right?
Yeah.
But we need to do a show there. But you know what? We need to just do a road trip on a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
Go over there, meet you and Larry, Luke, and just hang out and smoke cigars.
I can do that.
We can do that.
I can do
because
that.
If you haven't been to the Train Car Cigar Bar in Big Spring, Texas, it's 2 box cars from the railroad. One of them is a humidor and bar, and the other one is a lounge.
Yeah.
And then they have this huge patio that holds like 250 people, and they have live music. It's just festive. And talk about taking care of you and always making sure that your experience is what it should be.
Yeah.
Brent and his wife Camille always knock it out of the park.
Yeah. I gotta get there.
So then that takes me to my next one, which is one of my very first shops in the Fort Worth area, which is Pop Safari and Cigars.
Okay.
Great shop. I've been going there for a few years, and it's been around. I want to say someone told me from the late 60s.
Wow.
And it's right down by TCU.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from the late 60s?
Yeah. And
that's stability, man.
The building is like split in half. Mm-hmm. It's a big, tall, not tall, but like 30 feet tall.
Got you.
And you walk up the steps because it's in an old building.
Mm-hmm.
You walk up these steps, and when you get to the top of the steps, there's a door on the right and a door on the left. If you go in the door on the left, it's a gun shop. If you go in the store on the right, it's a cigar shop. He owns them both.
Gotcha.
And there's a door in between them that you can go in through. And out. Yes. And they always have coffee. They always have great drinks available. And they have a great selection of cigars. But one of my favorite things about the shop, and the reason why it makes my top 3, is because the times I've gone in there, there's always these older gentlemen sitting around smoking cigars. And they're just telling great stories. And I remember the last time I was there, I sat down, and I mean, there's like probably 15, 16 sitting chairs in a big square. I sit down, I get some coffee, and I'm just listening to these great stories. You could tell there's some like exaggerations going on.
Embellishment every once in a while.
But anyway, the owner leans over and says, you can join in the conversation. And I was like, oh, no, I'm just enjoying these stories.
The beauty of it. Yes, sir.
And since then, I mean, so many times I've gone in there with people I knew. My brother-in-law, my Al Roman met me over there. Dan Thompson, Amanda McAuliffe met me over there. And it's just a comfortable place. It's like one whole wall is covered in photos of Marilyn Monroe. Then there's another wall with Elvis Presley. And then there's this other wall with all these animal heads. Comes into safari because he was a huge hunter.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, that's a great shop. It's been around forever. And it's one of those places where you just walk in and they take care of you.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So those are it's supposed to have been 1. But it wound
There's no way I could pick
it
1.
wound up being the top 7 instead of the top.
There's no, I did 3, you did 3.
No, you did 4. You had a tie.
I had a tie.
So that's 4. But in the end, what we're talking about is the experience. The cigar experience, from your best stick to your nostalgia of what you're missing, to a place where you just feel like I can go here.
And let me say this: if you're a listener of the show, send us an email about what your favorite shop is. I'd love to know where your favorite shop is.
Because we travel.
Yeah, we do travel.
Yeah.
And we like to experience, because, there's excuse me, there's a cigar shop in San Diego that I would love to get down to. It's called The Cave.
Yeah, I heard of that.
What's her name? Ellie is one of the owners of that place, and it's like a bohemian speakeasy. You have to walk down the alley to get in.
You don't want to make this trip at night.
But those kind of cigar and then how about the one in Louisiana where Carl Malone?
Yeah.
Would you love to go visit that one?
Yeah, I want to go to the one Cam's in Atlanta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, go experience
Other
these
places,
different and see what they're like, because you never know. And wow. I keep thinking of these other lounges I've been to.
Got them wound up.
Let me say, Paul's Cigar Lounge in Hastings, Nebraska.
Oh, when you went to Nebraska?
I was there for a week.
Uh-huh.
And every day because I had to work the night shift.
Yeah.
So I would drive over there during the day. And it was like an hour and a half drive. I would drive over, smoke cigars all day, and then go back to the hotel and take an hour nap and then work all night.
Right, we know he had to get his nap in.
Got to have my nap.
He got his siesta in and then went to work.
But, there's so many. And then also the other Safari Cigar Lounge in, Omaha, Nebraska.
See?
Dude, I mean, yeah, if you got a great cigar lounge that you think we should know about, send me an email. Let me know. And you know what? Maybe if we can get enough listeners, we can do Cigar Talk listeners top 30.
Tell the truth. Because like I said, in the end of this month, I'll be making a trip back up to Illinois. So I'll be going through. This time I'm actually going to go down to the Metroplex and go up instead of going straight through all Oklahoma. So any of going up 75 on 44, Southern Missouri, I don't care because I take the trip. I'm gonna make a trip to Memphis, and my cousin who still lives in Memphis, he told me he wants to take me to his cigar shop. He didn't tell me the name. He said, "Man, I got a shop I go to. You'll love it." I was like, "Okay, I have no problem trying them."
Oh, I
love that.
Forward to it.
Yes, I love that.
It's an adventure to try new shops.
Most definitely, man.
And the gems that you find that you didn't know about.
Ooh.
Dude, whenever we went to Ruidosa, we found a little lounge downtown Ruidosa.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't anything fancy, but the people were amazing. They had a good selection of cigars. It wasn't a big selection, but they had good cigars. The guy hand makes his own pipes. And we visited with him and his wife for 2 hours.
That's what it's about.
And it's like, dude,
because
if I would have not stopped, I would have missed that opportunity.
Now your trip has been made even better because you've had an opportunity to experience
we went back
something.
The next day.
He said, "Yeah, it was so great. We went back again." I love it, man. I love it. So, like he said, send us some emails, man.
Yeah, and
Let
if you
me
have
know.
and if you have pictures,
that's even better.
Include those because we would love to see them.
Yes.
So anyway, we want to move on and take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our Patreons. They are the backbone of Cigar Talk. We want to say thank you so much. We are humbled and blessed that you support us each month. And if you'd like to become a Patreon member, go to our website, which is cigartalkpodcast.com. It's one of the top links. You can become many different tiers of supporters. The producers we do meet with once a month and get show ideas. Today's show was inspired by Sean O'Connor. So we want to say thank you to those guys. And I guess that's going to wrap it up for this week. So until next time,
keep smoking.